Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, police appeal for help to solve murder in Highgate, St. Mary. The Highgate police in St. Mary are appealing to the public for information that can help in an ongoing investigation into an incident that claimed the life of 28-year-old Fabian Needham, a gas pump attendant of Walker's Avenue, Highgate in St. Mary on Wednesday, March 27. Reports are that about 8:20 p.m., an altercation developed between Needham and a group of men at an event. The dispute got physical, and Needham allegedly flung a bottle at the men and ran. He was then reportedly chased by the men, one of whom pulled a gun and opened fire, hitting Needham and 4 others. The injured persons were assisted to the hospital, where Needham was pronounced dead. The other persons were treated and released. Persons with information that can assist are asked to contact Crime Stop at 311, the NIB tip line at 811, the Highgate Police at 876-992-2233, the Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. 16-year-old Jamaican killed in alleged racial bullying incident in Pennsylvania. A Jamaican family in Pennsylvania is mourning the death of their 16-year-old son after a reported hazing incident with alleged racial undertones that has shaken the community. Justin Johnson, a sophomore at Central Dauphin High School, who moved to the district 2 years ago from Jamaica, died following an incident involving 3 young men who reportedly showed up at his home and invited him to go outside to play. Security footage circulating online on Friday showed the 3 young men at Johnson's home on Bianca Drive in the Stray Winds development. It also shows Johnson going outside before the boys are seen running away while hurling racially insensitive language at the teen. One of the young men was reportedly heard shouting, "He's running like he ran back to Africa," while another said he ran back to expletive Africa. Johnson reportedly ran home only to collapse minutes after the harrowing ordeal. According to his father, Orville Johnson, his son had a sickle cell disease and was not supposed to exert himself. The senior Johnson told the media that his son called him when he eventually came back inside and told him he was having trouble breathing. By the time the father got home, he reportedly found his son unconscious on the floor. "I called the 911 immediately and they told me what to do. They called me and they said I have to come to the hospital because they're not getting a heartbeat, and I haven't seen him since," Orville Johnson said. Online users have since reacted to the incident, calling it a hate crime. "This is not hazing, it is a hate crime," one user wrote on Facebook. Another said, "Horrific. Racism is learned behavior, which means that there are more members of these families, most likely perpetuating stereotypes and hates." Another user demanded that the perpetrators be charged, saying, "This is so heartbreaking. Every last child involved in this needs to be charged, every last one." According to Lower Paxton Township Police, no charges have been filed yet, but an investigation is ongoing. The Bureau of Police is aware that content and videos are being shared through various social media outlets and requests the public's cooperation as we continue this investigation in order to provide a thorough, factual, and information-based account of events, police said. On Monday morning, April 29, Central Dauphin School District released the following statement. The Central Dauphin School District is saddened to hear about the passing of Justin Johnson, a grade 10 student at the Central Dauphin High School. We understand that the circumstances around Justin's death have not been determined. However, there are social media reports that indicated that Justin was subjected to racial insensitivity from classmates, the statement said. "Please understand that this type of behavior is not consistent with our core values and our vision of making sure everyone is valued and connected. Hate speech or any behavior that denigrates another person's rights will not be tolerated and is not consistent with the mission, vision, and the values of CDSD," the statement continued. Police say progress being made in probe of Prime Minister's Youth Awardee's murder. The Manchester police say they are making progress in the murder of 2022 recipient of the Prime Minister's National Youth Award for Excellence in Agriculture, C.J. Cunningham. Mr. Cunningham was gunned down in the community of Davidton, Manchester last Friday. Superintendent Kerry Duncan, commanding officer for Manchester, toured the community on Monday and told the news that the investigation is progressing smoothly and the cops are following some very strong leads.
Right, the investigation is progressing smoothly. We have a lot of leads that we are working on, and we hope to bring a closure to this one in very short order. What I will say at this time is that we believe that this is a very senseless killing. A young man, a very promising young man, who we saw that was about to do great things in our community and for our country. And so to see him taken out this way, it is very unfortunate. Yes, as I said, we have some leads, some very strong leads that we're following, and we hope to bring a closure to this one as soon as possible.
According to the police, about 5:45 p.m. Friday, Mr. Cunningham, who was also a tiler by trade, and another man were engaged in tiling at a house under construction when a barrage of gunshots was heard inside the house. The police were called. Mr. Cunningham had a bullet wound to the head and the other man a wound to the right thigh. Mr. Cunningham died at the scene. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has condemned the murder of Mr. Cunningham. Vendor killed at a bus stop at a cement company. Investigation branch is probing the death of a vendor who was killed allegedly by a man traveling in a motor car during a daring attack on Monday morning. Up to press time, the deceased man was still unidentified. The deadly shooting incident occurred about 7:50 a.m. along the Sir Florizel Glasspool Highway at a stall which is located under a bus stop adjacent to the Caribbean Cement Company's main entrance. Explosions were heard and the police summoned to the location, where they reportedly found the vendor lying in a pool of blood. An investigator told the news that the police are following several leads, one of which the news team understands is that a car drove up on the opposite side of the road and a male occupant, who was shirtless, disembarked and approached the victim. Explosions were reportedly heard after what appeared to have been a brief discussion. The news gathered that the man who had engaged the vendor and is believed to have committed the shooting returned to the motor vehicle and it sped off in the direction of Harborview. Sources close to the probe are of the view that the shooter had disguised himself as a customer. The news understands that the spot, which had long been a vending location catering to workers of Carib Cement Company and a nearby establishment, was vacant for some time after the original operator, a female, was gunned down a year ago. It's a stall where cement factory workers especially would get a little snacks and thing. No matter what shift, you don't have to walk far to get something. The same way they killed a woman them called Bikey, right there, and the spot was vacant for a while. What's so special about that spot? It was a surprise to come here this morning and see police tape off the place. A usual customer of the victim told the news. The East Kingston Police Division has seen a 5% reduction in murders as at April 20 this year. At the same time last year, there were 19 murders compared to 18 this year. Shootings, however, have increased in the division by 7% year-on-year. Met Service predicts increased rainfall starting today. The Meteorological Service says that the island should begin experiencing an increase in rainfall today, Tuesday. A trough across the Central Caribbean has been producing a broad area of unstable weather across the region since the weekend. This system is expected to move closer to Jamaica this morning with an associated increase in rainfall. The forecast is for periods of showers and thunderstorms to affect most parishes, especially those in the east, for the remainder of this week, with a peak activity expected today through Thursday. Fishers and other marine interests should exercise caution as the sea conditions will deteriorate in the vicinity of showers and thunderstorms. Judge rules that alleged accomplices have case to answer in murder of Simone Campbell Collymore. High Court Judge Justice Leighton Pusey has ruled that the alleged accomplices, Dwayne Pink and Shaquilla Edwards, who are on trial for the 2018 murder of businesswoman Simone Campbell Collymore and the taxi driver Winston Corey Walters, have a case to answer. The men are each facing 2 counts of murder and a conspiracy to murder. Monday's ruling follows a similar ruling last Thursday that Omar Collymore, who is accused of orchestrating the murder of his wife, and the co-accused Michael Crabos Adams have a case to answer. Justice Leighton Pusey, in handing down the ruling on Monday in the Home Circuit Court, is of the view that Mr. Edwards would have had sufficient knowledge of what the conspiracy was about. The ruling follows no case submissions by the defense last Wednesday. The prosecution closed its case last Tuesday. In presenting its case, the prosecution called 26 witnesses, including confessed the killer Wade Blackwood. In February, when the trial started, the prosecution told the jurors that Mr. Collymore hired Mr. Adams to facilitate the murder of his wife, and that Mr. Edwards and Mr. Pink allegedly played a role in surveilling the businesswoman's movements before her death.